All right, so welcome to another video. Today we're going to take a look at Tattooed Chef and its toast. So stay tuned. I'm going to give you some thoughts and insight on this stock from the technical basis and give you my own personal opinion. And we're going to just go into a little bit of detail. Now, if you want to request your own video, you can definitely go into our Discord channel in the description, request one. I'll give you a technical analysis from some of the things I've done over the years with checking out also my other channel at Traders Fly that you can see. Anyway, let's go ahead and kick things off here. And as we get moving and going, you can check out Tattooed Chef here. And the stock, founded in 2017, so it's a fairly new company, right? So when you have something this new, it's very tough from an investment standpoint. And a lot of people, what happens with these investments is, there's a lot of people that'll pump these things up. There's a lot of people that get emotionally attached to it. So really, if you're a long investor on this, don't get too tied into the things that I say and say, hey, just because he's calling it that its stock is weak, because it is, and the stock's going down right now, you're probably not going to like to hear those things. But the reality is that's what the price is behaving. And oftentimes, a lot of new companies take time to digest and evolve. Now, I'm not saying that it can't, but this stock is struggling. It's acting weak, and newer companies they don't get the benefit of the doubt for a while. These positions are typically speculative. So when you look at something this new, it's a speculative investment. And the way that you trade speculative investments is a whole different ballgame than the way that you trade long investments like a Microsoft or stable investments. So when we start looking at something like this, and you look at TTCF, and we start looking at kind of the weekly chart and time frame, what you're seeing here is as the stock opened up on the market here, there's, that's where the IPO is. So we had a lot of sideways action, and then you have this built up pent after the $10 level. Okay, so right around after that $10 level, there's a lot of stocks that can explode after the $10 level. And this is where they get a lot of hype. There's a lot of great news, people probably pumping this thing, because what they do is they invest it and then they pump it to you, I don't know, on news channels, that kind of thing. And then eventually those people start getting out at different price points, but you're still left holding it thinking, hey, it's still a great stock. But eventually what's going on is actually, if you really just look at the trend, just take your pick, look at this trend, it's still just on a downward slope, and you have this compression. Now, the way that you're looking at buying and trading these types of stocks is really, if you have 10 different speculative investments, let's say you got a bunch of them. Okay, so this might be your TTCF right here. And then you got 9 others, and some of these, what they might do is they make 100 times return on your investments. The other ones, they're basically like garbage, right? And you kind of lose out on them. So if you had $5,000, what you do is you put in $500 in each one, and some of them, they really pay out. And that's what you're kind of thinking of and maybe hoping with Tattoo Chef here. And I'm not saying it's a bad company, because obviously they make a lot of money and it's on the stock market and it's traded. I'm just saying from a chart perspective, from an investment standpoint, a lot of people are going to longer term stable companies and investments, and that's what they do. These types of companies are usually speculative based companies, and that's what you have to recognize. But unfortunately, what a lot of people do, the average person, if they have $5,000 to invest, they put 95% of it in something like this, and then it starts to go down, and it's really a problematic thing that happens. So anyways, as we look at the technicals and then evaluate this, you basically have a downward trend here, hitting some of these swing points. So it's pretty clear right there. So your trend is downward. You've had some support around 15, and these supports had some confluence levels that weren't hit, but here it is. They've got a few levels. Once this broke, you can see volume also picking up. You saw some of the earlier volume spikes right here that was acting on the weakness side. And now you're seeing this volume on the sell pressure, which is not good and it's not healthy. And that becomes a bit of an issue and a problem. You'll probably see a few pops here soon, only because when the stock gets oversold, which temporarily, meaning on the shorter term, couple weeks, it could be oversold, and you'll probably see some pops maybe to the 15. Once you get into the 15, you have a high degree chance of retesting the bottoms. That's just typically what happens. It's the same thing here. It happens once, 2, 3 times. It doesn't always hit it perfectly, so it won't always hit 15 and just roll over. It's not an exact price, it's a range. And when we get into that range, like 15, it could be 14, it could be 16, it could go past it for a couple dollars. But then oftentimes what happens is when you go past it and then you come back up to reject it, you'll probably come back to retest these levels. And it could be right there. That's what you're watching for. If you get any additional weakness, that could be a problem. And that's where the stock can get back into that $10 range and kind of hang out right here back in the same spot that it was once at. Because a lot of these investors, they're kind of going to be dumping it in time, and then you've got a lot of other people over time that'll be left holding the bag. So in either case, when you really look at this stock, it's pretty much toast for the time being. Like when you look at it from the shorter term perspective, you've got some problems with it, and you know it's got issues. So from a chart technical perspective, it doesn't look good. But if you're looking at it from, hey, I want to take a little bit of a bite, I want to take a little bit of a nibble, that's fine. But just remember allocation of capital, and you're trying to allocate your capital across maybe 3 to 6 months, you know, build it across a year position. So if here, as we start looking at this, and trying to build across this position, you could try to average your price, but don't get in it all at once. Like if you're trying to build in a $2,000 share position, you might do 100 shares here, 100 shares that month, 100 shares that month. You're trying to build it out, but this should be only 1/10 or 1/20th of the speculative portfolio that you have. The rest should be in much more stable place because this company is much more speculative. So from a portfolio basis, you got to learn to allocate in different spots of your money. And most people, unfortunately, they put, you know, like, hey, I'm just taking a shot, a guessing game of 5 grand or 10 grand into this company, and then they does stuff like this, and then you got some problems. So anyways, right now, there's a lot of huge selling pressure in the stock. It's not doing well, and you can probably see a bounce sometime soon back towards the 15 right here. And at the 15, you have a high degree or chance that it could reject, unless you have some very positive news that's, you know, makes people feel euphoric about it. And that's just the nature of the market. So anyways, hope you enjoyed this analysis. It may not be what you wanted to hear, and it's looking at from the technical perspective. Doesn't mean it's going to all pan out. It just means that this is what's happening in the chart. So I just want to give you my honest thoughts about it and how it's kind of behaving. It's behaving weak right now, and you can get some retests, and the company might be great and fantastic in the long run. But you have to trade it from a proper allocation standpoint. Don't pile all your money into that one spot. So that's what I'm talking about. And that's what I see a lot of times when I deal with a lot of coaching sessions, is people just pile too much into one single company like this. Anyways, thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. And if you want to check out some more options trading videos, as far as trading options the right way, check out the Traders Fly channel in that channel. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.